get you some. Oh yeah. Mate, it's lucky she can cook. Wow!
G'day lovelies, welcome back. Today we're making curried lamb shanks. We're going to need approximately 1.5 kilo of French cut lamb shanks. Now these are really big, so I've got 4 of them and they equal 1.5 kilo. 1/4 cup of flour, 2 tablespoons of oil, 1 large brown onion chopped, 2 cloves of garlic crushed or 2 heaped teaspoons of jar garlic, 1 tablespoon of Keen's curry powder, 1 litre of chicken stock plus some water, roughly a 400 gram can of crushed tomatoes, 1 teaspoon of sugar. I'm using a small half butternut pumpkin and I couldn't get any fresh cauliflower, so I've got some frozen cauliflower. So I usually use a couple of handfuls of each chopped up. 3/4 cup of red lentils, 1/4 cup of fresh chopped coriander. If you don't like coriander, you can swap it out for parsley or you can just leave it out altogether. First thing I'm going to do is cut open the shanks in the sink. I'm going to clean them up a little bit with some paper towel. Now that I've done that, we're going to French cut them. So what we need to do is, we don't need to go in too far, just a little way, and we just want to cut through the meat. Just cut around it. Cut that meat off. Scrape the fat, cut, scrape both. Okay, so now just a couple of centimetres in, we've cut it, we've cleaned it all off of the bone's nice and clean there. That way when it cooks, it'll shrink down and it'll be nice and neat and look gorgeous. Now we want to do that with all of them. So I've just cut myself, I'm using the Kogan $37 knife set. It's the first time I've used them. I knew I was going to cut myself. This is why I don't do sharp knives. Those people that say to you, oh, you don't cut yourself as bad with a sharp knife, bullshit. Once we've done that, they will look like this. Try not to shank yourself. Now, if you're fortunate enough to have a butcher near you, you can ask them to French cut them for you. But they're not hard to do, they're just a little bit fiddly and a little bit deadly with sharp knives. Alright, now I'm just going to bang them in the fridge while we prepare everything else. Now we want to peel and chop up our 1 brown onion. Now we put that aside. Now I'm going to cut up a 1/4 cup of fresh coriander or parsley or none. Alright, now we've got everything prepped and ready to go. Now to the fun part. Now all that's done, all we have to do is cook. Yay! So whether you put it in the oven or you do it on the stove top or on the coals, the preparation is still exactly the same. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to grab half of our stock and put that in whatever big oven dish we've got, big enough hopefully. Then we're going to put in our can of crushed tomatoes. Now we do a nice good lot of salt and pepper, 1 teaspoon of sugar, and then mix it all through. Alright, then set that aside. Alright, now we need to get a frying pan out ready to go. If you're going to crush your garlic, get your garlic and your crusher ready. Get your curry powder and your onion ready to go. Okay, so now we need to get a large bowl, chuck some plain flour in it. And now we want to dust the shanks in the flour one at a time as we put them into the fry pan. So just cover it. Bang it off. So you've got a nice thin coating all the way around. So you want your pan on between medium and high in between. couple of tablespoons of oil. I like to use olive oil, but you can use whatever you want. Then we want to dust our shanks one at a time and stick them in. Preferably when the pan's heated up. So we want to brown them really well all over. Once we've browned them all over, we want to take them out and sit them on a clean plate. Okay, once we've done that, using the oil that's still in there, we now want to do our onion. And we just want to cook it out for about a minute and a half. Now we want to add a tablespoon of curry powder. Now I'm using Keen's curry powder. If you don't have any or you're somewhere where it's too expensive, I have got a homemade curry powder. I'll put it on at the end. And the one mixture you'd make up, you use the whole lot. But you can use any curry powder you want. And then either your cloves of garlic crushed or 2 heaped teaspoons of jar garlic. Make sure that onion soaks up all the goodness. Oh my God, mate, it smells amazing. I love curry. Oh, in a hurry? Oh, that's so good too. I don't know why I always try to sound Asian when I'm talking Indian. Like, I think I'll just stick to Aussie, mate. Okay, after half a minute or so, when you can smell that yumminess. Alright, get it all together. Make sure the whole lot's in the pile. Don't miss out on any. Alright, turn your pan off. Now we want to add every little bit of that goodness to our pot. Then give it a good mix through. Now we want to add our browned shanks. So now we want to add more stock until we normally just cover them. But now I'm going to whack it on the stove top, put the lid on, bring it up to a boil. As soon as it starts to boil, I'm going to turn it down to a simmer. Really nice and gentle simmer with the lid on. We're going to cook it like that for an hour and a half. Yeah, I was tripping. There was no way it was all going to work in that smaller dish. You need a really big one because we've got to add veggies in later as well. So I've transferred it over before it started heating up. I'll wrap the lid on and away we go. It's been simmering away with the lid on for the last hour and a half. I've been turning the shanks every half an hour, and halfway through I had to add a little bit of water. Now we need to add our veggies. I hope that didn't get on the screen. Gently stir them through. Now once it comes back up to a simmer, I'm going to put the lid back on and I'm going to cook it for another half an hour. So what I might have forgot to say before, don't start timing it until it's actually gone to the boil, down to the simmer. As soon as it starts to simmer and you put the lid on it, start timing it then. And for the directions for doing it in the oven, I will write down below the video in the description. We now add our 3/4 of a cup of lentils. Give it a good mix through. Once it comes back up to a simmer, we now want to leave it simmering away without the lid for the next half an hour to an hour. We want to stir it gently every 10 minutes or so, just so the lentils don't stick to the bottom. Once they're cooked, they're fine. As soon as the meat starts falling off of the bone, she's ready. It's been an hour now, so total cook time has been 3 hours. If heaven had a smell, mate, it'd smell like this. Now I'm going to very gently remove the shanks without them falling apart. And we're going to let them sit out and rest for 10 minutes because they've had a hard couple of hours. I don't want them to fall apart. Now while they rest for 10 minutes, I'm just going to let that reduce down a bit more. Alright, I'm now going to turn our amazing, look at this, oh my god mate. Alright, I'm going to now turn that off, and we want to add our coriander or parsley or neither. Stir it through. And she's ready. Mate, come on now. Some of our magnificent juice, sauce, whatever you want to call it. Please. A little bit of coriander or parsley around the outside. Well, there you have it, lovelies. Absolutely gobsmacking beautiful. You have got to give it a crack. Your whole family is going to love it. Thank you so much for watching. Have yourselves an awesome week, and I'll see you all next Monday. Toodles.